Hello everybody, Maven here, and I don't use the word broken very often because it's kind of a clickbaity word I try to keep out of my vocabulary. I only use it when absolutely necessary, and coincidentally I used it a couple weeks ago on that Warlock build because that was legitimately broken. But it's time to use it yet again. I know it hasn't been long, but today I present to you one of the most broken ad clear builds I've ever made. Now this is a throwback build that we're going to improve tenfold. I did a build video on this over a year ago. It was the Radiant Dance Machine's Gold Tusk build, and nobody uses that build, nobody knows about that build, but it's insane for ad clear and survivability. You just do not die using that build, you just weaken everything. But it's based around a heavy weapon, and it's not truly infinite ammo. You will eventually run out of heavy. But today's build is based around the Ergo Sum exotic sword, which is special, and you can truly have infinite special ammo. Now, as you know, the Ergo Sum just got a catalyst recently. You have to complete GM Excision, and when you do, you get the catalyst guaranteed. When you deal damage with the Transcendent Grenade, you get some ammo refunded to your sword. But we do not care about that. We are not going to use that catalyst. We are not even going to use Prismatic. We're going to be on Void, because we have some tricks up our sleeve to have infinite ammo anyways. And this build turns you into a walking ball of destruction that destroys anything it looks at. And when it comes to ad clear, I would call this build broken. It's insane, so let's talk about it. Hope you enjoy. So let's take a look at our Ergo Sum here. The perk we're gonna go for is Arc Conductor with either a wave sword frame or a caster frame. I would highly recommend going for a caster frame. I'm still on the lookout for one of those, but you want some kind of ranged attack, and these are your two choices. Because when you deal damage with a powered heavy attack, you get Arc Conductor. Now you might think that's bad because you've seen Arc Conductor on the Risk Runner before, and you know how it works. When you have Arc Conductor active and you shoot targets, they chain lightning to other targets. So you would think with the Ergo Sum you would have to slash targets with your sword to chain lightning to other targets. But no, when you have Arc Conductor active on the Ergo Sum, you literally just walk by enemies and it chains lightning automatically. You don't have to swing your sword at all, meaning that you can stay invisible and keep killing ads. Imagine a Trinity Ghoul that you do not have to even shoot. That's basically what this is. It is ridiculous. And a quick little shout out to Special Hero, who just yesterday set the Dual Destiny world record, and he used the Ergo Sum sword with Arc Conductor for a majority of the run because he needed some intense ad clear, and not every situation is going to be good for Barons, because sometimes ads are not lined up, or it's like weird geometry where the ads are spawning around you. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna use the Ergo Sum with Arc Conductor. It's that good. It's world record worthy. I'm telling you right now, the Arc Conductor Ergo Sum is up there with Barons as one of, if not the best ad clear weapon in the entire game. This is a must-have weapon. So get to farming some overthrow. You gotta get this thing. Now, what is the idea of our build? Well, our ultimate goal is to create infinite ammo for our Ergo Sum and also stay invis at all times. And for this, we're utilizing the Radiant Dance Machines. Activating your dodge near a target gives you the multi-dodge buff, allowing you to dodge an infinite amount of times, goes up to 10 seconds, and refreshes on final blows. And I think with the Ergo Sum, it's pretty easy to get final blows. So you can keep that up as long as the encounter lasts, pretty much. So the idea is you walk up to a target, you dodge, and then you do your Ergo Sum heavy attack to proc Arc Conductor, and you just walk around, dodge, 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 dodge all day long, just jolting everything. Well, not exactly jolting, but chaining lightning to everything that you walk by. Now, the other reason we are using Radiant Dance Machines is to make it easy to generate infinite special ammo for our Ergo Sum. Technically, you can do this with any other build. Doesn't need to be dance machines, but the dance machines just makes it the easiest possible. And that brings us to our mod setup. Now, this setup's nothing new. I've showcased it off in a lot of my build videos before whenever I do a build based around a special weapon. So the idea is have charged up on your chest so you can hold 4 stacks of armor charge. Stacks on stacks, so it'll only take 2 orbs to get up to 4 stacks of armor charge. And then powerful attraction on your class item, so you dodge and you scoop up all the nearby orbs in the area. Since we're dodging non-stop, it makes it really easy to scoop up all the orbs around us constantly that we're generating with Arc Siphon. Our Arc weapon double kills make an orb, and obviously with the Ergo Sum chaining lightning everywhere that we walk, it's extremely, extremely easy and effortless to just get 4 stacks of armor charge without even trying. So when this happens, we just do a special finisher. Just make a brick of special ammo for performing a finisher and consume 3 stacks of armor charge. That'll leave us back down to 1 stack of armor charge, so we get 1 more orb, put us back up to 3, and then we can just do it again immediately. So if we're really hungering for ammo, we can just do it back to back, really quickly and just get back up to full ammo just like that. And at the pace we're able to get this armor charge, we can afford to run a couple copies of Arc Surge as well, which does work with the chaining lightning abilities of the Arc Conductor. And while we're here, I'll go over the rest of my mods. On our class item, we got Reaper, so we dodge and our next kill makes an orb, but that unfortunately does not happen every time you dodge with the dance machines. It only happens on the first initial dodge. And then on my chest, I have Loosened Blades to increase the charge rate of my sword. However, I don't feel that you really need Loosened Blades. You can just run a resist if you want. Something that I've been doing in the background gameplay a bit, you might notice it sometimes, is I'll throw out my wave on my sword when it's not even fully charged. It just needs to have some amount of charge. It just can't be empty, but it doesn't need a full charge. So Loosened Blades isn't the most useful thing in the world. And then I got melee damage resistance since, you know, we're using a sword, we're always going to be in close proximity. And then the gloves don't matter too much. I just have a kinetic loader for my primary weapon. I got firepower to make orbs on grenade final blows, and I do have maxed out discipline. And then impact induction, so I cause damage with a smoke bomb and I can reduce my grenade cooldown. And then we got double heavy finder on our helmet. Now, one more thing about impact induction, you can run gambler's dodge if you like. I made a last second change to marksman dodge just to get the dodge back quicker, because eventually you will run out of multi dodge. But if you did run gambler's dodge, you can spam a smoke bomb every single time that you dodge with the radiant dance machines. So that's a thing you can do, I guess. You can weaken everything before going in with the sword if you wanted to. You can just use your trapper's ambush to do your little smoke bomb shatter dive, and just do that every single time you dodge. And then on to our subclass here, we got Trapper's Ambush and Vanishing Step. We got Obscurity to go invis on finishers, which we're doing all the time to make special ammo with special finisher. We got Persistence to stay invis longer, Undermining to weaken things with our Void Nades, and then Starvation to get Devour when we pick up an Orb of Power. And getting Devour is absolutely free with this build, with that whole Arc Siphon powerful attraction setup we talked about earlier. And also when you have Devour, Final Blows give you more grenade energy, which just further adds on top of our 100 discipline, so we can spam a lot of nades. Now for the stat distribution, I got double hundreds in resilience and discipline while maintaining a minimum of tier 3 intellect, but I would recommend hitting tier 9 mobility if you possibly can. I just didn't have the armor for it. So 9 mobility, 10 resilience, and the rest into discipline is what I would recommend. And for the rest of my weapons, I'm using the Blast Furnace as my kinetic primary. Now, just use something for the long range to make up for the lack of range that the Ergo Sum has, or just use whatever you need to use to stun a champion. And then for my heavy, since I am using double Arc Surge, I decided to go with an Arc Heavy. I'm using the Wendigo with auto-loading holster and Explosive Light. And at the amount of orbs we can generate and pick up with this setup, it makes it really easy to get Explosive Light ×6 on the Wendigo, so it's an absolute powerhouse with the double Arc Surge. So that about does it for the build. Absolutely broken for ad clearance survivability. Not as much when it comes to damage, but it can hold its own for damage between Tether and your double Arc Surge Wendigo with Explosive Light. And you know, every raid boss damage phase needs a Tether unless somebody's using Tractor Cannon, so you can pretty much bust out this build in any situation and it'll put in the work. And not to mention, it's also a very good team player build because you're making all of these orbs of power and all of these bricks of special ammo for not only yourself but your teammates as well. And one more thing about the Ergo Sum, I feel like it's a little bit bugged against some things because I noticed it didn't really change lightning to servitors and also explosive shanks, which may be a good thing, but I hope Bungie fixes it in the future, but it's not really that big a deal. Closing thoughts, this build is just the best way to abuse the Arc Conductor Ergo Sum, but even if you don't use this build, you still gotta get this sword. I'm telling you, it's gonna be good in a lot of situations in Destiny 2. It's definitely something you want in your arsenal. Now with everything else going on in Destiny 2 right now, it's hard to find the time to do a Legend 50 wave onslaught run, which takes an hour, but I would love to see how this build does in those later waves of onslaught because it gets up to like Grandmaster level. So if anybody tries that, let me know how it went down below in the comments. And as always, the dim loadout link to this build will be down below in the description, and also the pinned comment if you'd like to give it a try. And if you got any buddies who are Hunter mains, I'd appreciate if you share this video with them. I'm sure they'd find it useful. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to drop a like and a comment because those actions really please the algorithm gods. And if you are new here, please consider subscribing as we are extremely close to hitting 50K and you can help me get there. And thank you so much if you do. And with that, I will catch you in the next video. See you later.